been a lot of young players that's been hooping this NBA season. I know we still got the GOAT. He's 39, still doing what it do, but my Lakers aren't looking too good. But I want to talk about another team, specifically the Oklahoma City Thunder. When I say that they're doing the exact same thing that they did 10 years ago, well, technically about 15 years ago, initially drafting Kevin Durant in '07, drafting Russell Westbrook, drafted Serge Ibaka and James Harden in the same draft, and then finishing it off with a solid presence as in Steven Adams. Even though he came later, they had a Kendrick Perkins in the paint. Here's what I'm saying, right? Instead of doing a big bulky center, they have replaced him with Chet Holmgren, who is essentially Serge Ibaka with a handle in a jump shot that's automatic from mid range on out. Then from there, instead of Tavo Cephalosha, you got Jalen Williams. You got Isaiah Joe instead of old Derek Fisher. Follow me now. Instead of Russell Westbrook, you've added 3 more inches on him with a jump shot that's more reliable. That's also nobody's talking about it. He's averaging 2 steals per game. Instead of James Harden, you have you have Josh Giddey, who even though he's got some legal issues right now, he still has trade value, so I'm not going to talk that much on him. He has trade value that you're going to get rid of, so you're going to trade him like you did James Harden. And then with Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant, there's not going to be another Kevin Durant. Basically, what I'm saying here is the Oklahoma City Thunder have copied the same blueprint and are in the exact same position, top of the West, just like the Young Thunder were. They are going to make a run in the playoffs this year. They're not going to be a play-in team. They're going to be a team that you have to get through if you're going to go get to the finals. So I want to get and I didn't want it to just be me, but I want to see what you guys think is the top 5 young players under 25. Long and hard.
So
take your time one because it's
that's easy.
Alex, you gotta stop, bro. What did you just say, Alex, bro? You gotta stop, bro. You gotta chill, bro. Because I let you live when you said.
But what you mean?
I let Alex live when he was like he got an extra 3 inches on him. I was like, I let you live. When
nah,
you said that.
he was talking about in terms of height, bro.
I know that, but
I wasn't, bro. I honestly wasn't even thinking about that, bro. Like I guess I was thinking basketball wise.
You gotta
I got watch my words around y'all, boy.
Yeah, you got to. Because Alex said so freely, it just be in the flow. Go ahead, Alex. My fault.
No, you're good, man. You're good. So
your question was top 5 players under 25. That was your question. Okay, yeah, so I feel like we all can agree. We all can agree that number 1 is Luka Doncic. We can just go ahead and get that out the way, right? We can all agree number 1 is Luka.
Yeah.
I would say under 25, number 2 is shaky for me because when I think of number 2, I think of Shea, I think of Ant-Man. I'm an Ant-Man fan, so I might lean Anthony Edwards, but I would say Anthony Edwards and Shea are 2 and 3. I would put Ja at 4, and I'd put Tyrese at 5. Tell me if I'm tripping.
You're big tripping because right
Tyrese
now
at 5,
bro. I'm not taking Tyrese over Ant-Man. I'm not taking Tyrese over Shea, and I'm not taking Tyrese over Ja either, because Ja's shown to be able to lead his team to the playoffs. Ant-Man has shown to be able to lead his team to the playoffs. Shea is showing that he will be leading his team to the playoffs right now. I'm not too much of a believer in the Indiana Pacers. I'm going to be honest with you. They're the 16 right now. Yeah.
Do we have an idea what that injury Halliburton has is?
It's a hamstring strain.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't serious. It wasn't serious.
Okay, cool. Right, because I saw that would have changed if it was like season ending. If it was like, okay, he's out for the year, I would have been like, okay, that would have changed how I saw it. Like, I hear your list, Rice, and I'm not mad at your list. Of course, Luka's number 1. Like, he's my go-to every time. When somebody asks me who's your favorite young player in basketball, it's got to be you. It's Luka, bro. Like, if you're a prize pick, if you sports bet on prize pick, Luka goes on all my tickets because he's going to get you points, rebounds, and assists. Him and
that That pride.
Him and Nokic, right? It's something about the way Tyrese Halliburton plays basketball that I'm like, if you get Halliburton another guy in Indiana, it could be dangerous. It could be the home of basketball again with like what Halliburton has. So he's, in my opinion, right now, the number 2 young guy. But I think that's with Anthony Edwards very close behind him, because Anthony Edwards has had talent on that team for a while, and that team has still been middle of the pack, underperforming, right? He's had Cat his entire career. Who is Halliburton?
That's
he's
true.
had.
I agree. That's very true. That's a very true
He's
sentiment.
had.
They are the 1 seed. The Timberwolves are the 1 seed right
This
now.
year,
But I
they
do
are-
see
no,
what you're
listen,
saying.
this
He's
year,
played with them the entire part of his career. It's like, what do you have to show for it except
What do you
now?
have to
I
show
get what
for
you're saying. I agree.
Right.
I agree. That's valid.
And so that's where I pull back on Edwards a little bit. Y'all know I'm usually not in a basketball conversation, but I take a lot of, this is where I look at little bro Alex. Alex didn't know a lot of football when we started this show, and he's leaned in. And so I'm leaning a lot into basketball this year. And so I'm all for the conversations, y'all. Anthony Edwards right now is number 3. I need Zion to put that fork down so he can stay at number 4, and I am, I want to say Paulo, but
see, that was my 6. That was my 6, bro.
Cade Cunningham is my 5.
He's been
that's good. That's solid.
Cade Cunningham out in Detroit. I don't know if people have been watching the way he's been playing basketball because Detroit is so bad, but Cade is a cool 38-8 a game. He's good, bro. Cade is really good, bro.
Yeah, he's smooth. I like it.
A name I want to throw out there and just get your guys' opinion on, because it's funny that Henry said put the fork down for Zion. I left Zion off my list because I don't think he can put the fork down. But a name that I want to throw out there, and this is another guy that Henry might not have high because of who he's playing with, but I want to throw out Tyrese Maxey. What do you guys think about Tyrese Maxey as a 25 under guy? He's played really well this season, taking up that second option with Joel Embiid being that one. That's why I didn't mention him though, Henry, because like you said with Ant-Man, you're playing with the MVP. Like you don't have, you're the second option with a lot of these other young guys. Like you said, Hallie's the number 1. Ant-Man's essentially the 1. Luka is the everything. It's like, so what do you guys think about Maxey?
I'm impressed with Maxey. I think Maxey is good. I don't have an issue with Maxey, also because Maxey is playing with who's going to win the MVP this year. Like Joel Embiid has had the best season I think
he's had in his career. Yeah, this is his best season in
his
career.
Like when you talk about center play, he's had the best season I've seen since like being a kid watching Shaq play basketball, in my opinion, from a center's perspective, right? And he's doing things that Shaq wasn't doing. Assisting the basketball, bringing the ball up the floor, making legitimate passes at the top of the key on the wings as well, looking as if he can also distribute the basketball, right? And so I am impressed with Maxey, but Maxey doesn't make my top 5 just because the shadow in Philly is just too big. And
that's a 7-1 shadow.
It's a very large shadow, and I can't see you right now. Like if there's a game where, or if there's a stretch where, Embiid goes down for 10 games, Maxey takes that team 6-4 over those 10 that he's down, and Maxey's at 25, 10 and 10 a game. Well then, hey, welcome to the top 5, big dog, because now you're in it. I know what you can do if you have to carry a team. But right now, I just can't see that just yet.
Alex, same thing for you, bro, because I know we've had conversations about Maxey like off air, and and you know how I feel about Maxey, but I just want to get your opinion too, bro.
Yeah, see, until he went down with injury, I had LaMelo Ball as in my top 5 as under the 25. So that being said, because
what was your 5, bro? What was your 5?
My 5 in no order was Luka Doncic, Wembanyama, because he's 19, 10, and 3 blocks as a rookie. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Ant-Man. Is that 4 or 5 right there?
That's 4.
Okay. Ant-Man. And then the 5 gets a little tricky at that point. That's my solid 4. But at the 5, I could either go. I kind of want to put Tyler Hero in there. I'm not even gonna lie.
See that? No, but Henry, you make that face. I was
10.
going to ask about him, and I was also going to ask about Chet Holmgren since you mentioned Wembanyama. I'm like, okay, so if you're putting Wemby there, we got to consider Chet. So I was going to ask about Hero and Wemby, Hero and Chet next. But okay, all right. So why do you have Tyler Hero over Hallie over? Like, I'm curious, bro. Why?
Because I'm the reason I say that is, and the Pacers do look legit, and he is leading the league in assists. I do know that. It's either him or Trae Young, but I know I'm aware of that as well. With Hallie, I don't really have a solid answer for you. I really don't. It's either pick your poison because Hallie can give you 20 and 15 with 0 assists, but then Tyler Hero can also drop 35 on you, and you don't even know where it came from. I've seen Tyler Hero have a couple 30-point games and 10 assists. He won't do it as commonly as Tyrese Halliburton, but don't be mistaken. Just because Miami made it without him last year, that's not a knock on him. That's just more on Eric Spoelstra. Tyler Hero's a real bucket, bro. He's somebody that you got a game plan for. He's somebody that she's low-key more dangerous. He's the most offensively dangerous person on the court with Miami at all times.
But even their third option, though, bro. He's their third option.
Here's what I'm saying. He's not the first option, but there's nothing he can't do. There is nothing he can't do on the floor offensively. He can make plays, he can make plays, and he can get buckets. What else do you need?
There's nothing he can't do, but that team has proven that they can supplement what he can do without him. Like all of the teams that we've named, Anthony Edwards, Luka, Hallie,
LaMelo. I throw LaMelo up there, like you said, Pacheco. Like,
Zion. None of those teams have the record they have if those guys don't play on that team. We've literally seen Euro not play, and they still, I don't know. So that's why he falls in like that. He doesn't fall in that top 5 because when I think of top 5 talent, if you're not on my team, all hell is breaking loose. You know, and I don't know. Tyler Hero, he's good, but he's the 4th option to me on that team.
4th option? Who's the 3rd?
I'm looking at guy maybe like Duncan Robinson, somebody who you know is a spot up shooter. Like think of
he would be the 3rd, right? He legitimately be the 3rd. I see what you're saying, but he's legitimately the 3rd because Jimmy and Bam are the All NBA guys on that team, and it's like when you're the 3rd, and see that's why because Alex, again, I've seen what Tyler's doing this season, and Tyler's most improved conversation needs to be had because he's playing well this season. But again, I feel like he falls in the same instance as Maxey. You have 2 guys that are like so elite that it's like you're getting the 3rd defender. Some people's 3rd defender is a below average defender. So like Henry said, if Ant-Man don't play, I don't know. If Hallie, we're going to see what the Grizzlies looked like without Ja. We're about to see what they look like again without Ja. Shout out to Ja, speedy recovery with that torn labrum out for the season. They're going to be picking in the lottery. Now,
I'm tweaking. Ja is definitely my top 5.
Forgot about Ja. That's why I'm like, bro, it's some guys.
Sorry.
Honestly, and Alex, you might look at me like I'm crazy when I say this, but you can argue Darius Garland over Tyler Hero. If we're being honest, in terms of under
Darius
25.
Garland is a bucket. I mean, he's
Darius
good.
Garland is 21, 22, and 9. Almost 40% from 3. Like, it's like, I like Tyler Hero a lot because he's showing he's still ascending as a player. I don't want to knock Tyler Hero because that's a good name that I thought about, but I was like, but bro, it's some guys. It's some young killers out there, bro.
I mean, I don't think Tyler Hero even comes up in a conversation for me, especially if we don't shout out SGA. Like, I mean, I know we've already mentioned his name a couple of times, but it's like the thing that Tyler Hero does
All of those other guys do.
All
So
of those other guys do.
But the things that they do, like
He don't
defend,
do.
Ant-Man's a two-way,
He
like you
don't
said,
do.
Alex, and you put me on the SGA's defensive ability a lot more. I always knew he was a good scorer, playmaker. You're the one that put me on him being almost 2 steals and a block a game. You're the one that put me on the Hallie being almost 2 steals a game. Tyler Hero ain't getting no 2 steals a game.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just, but I respect Tyler Hero though as a player. I was low on him when they made it to the finals the last time they did. And like Henry said, I was like, man, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin are all doing the same stuff that that Tyler Hero. So yeah, like you said, bro, now that I'm thinking about it, he might not make my top 10 because you said Wemby, I say Chet. We gotta think about, are we gonna put what's the big for the Cavs name? Get drawing a blank.
Mobley.
We got Mobley's a 2-way, 17 and 8, almost 2 blocks a game. His ceiling is higher than a guy like Tyler Hero. So Zion, it's man, I don't know.
Tyler Hero, in my opinion, is the best expendable player in basketball. Like, he's the best trade asset in basketball right now. Like, if teams look at if every team across the league looks at their roster and it's like, who's the best guy we can trade? There would be a player from every organization, and you would look at those players and you would say Tyler Hero is the best in that group. He's not untouchable. He's not
okay. I see what you're saying. So I see what you're saying.
He's not untouchable.
So in terms of like, give me the guy on your team that you'd be most willing to trade, who's the best guy on your team. And it's like Tyler Hero might be that because young, good contract. Like Alex said, a 25 point per game scorer. Like, you're comparing him to guys like Kuminga. You're comparing him to guys like Jaylen Brown. I think he's better than those guys. So that's a valid point. He might be the best trade piece in the league. That is true.
If you're an organization and you're like, oh, I've got to have Tyler Hero, that means you're a player away from a championship. And so when I speak of young talent, I'm talking about, and I appreciate you saying Wemby, because I don't give, and Darius will tell you, I don't give Wemby the credit he deserves.
At all.
Wemby, I think players who come in, like, if you're a basketball player, and I guess because I'm football rooted, right? But I think you being 6 or 7 anything and you're 180, 190, you're a loser. There is no reason you're that freaking small. Like, that makes no sense to me, right? I grew up in an era.
He's legitimately like 220, bro.
I grew up in an era in basketball. D Wade at his prime was 215. Like, what are we talking about? Carmelo.
D Wade 6'3.5", 6'4".
Come on, bro.
Carmelo ain't missed no meal, bro. Carmelo,
I don't trust Kevin Durant is the only player who I trust can go on a diet and be 189 pounds and still be a threat, right? Chet is too big to be that skinny. Wemby is too big to be that skinny, right? But even when we talk about these players, they're so valuable that of all of the young guys that we named, I'm not trading SGA. I'm not trading Ja. I'm not trading Ant. I'm not trading Luka. I'm not trading LaMelo. I'm not trading Hallie. I'm not trading Paulo.
Actually, Hallie did just get traded though. He
did get traded, but this is before this
was before he became.
Yeah,
like,
this is
let's be real.
This Hallie ain't getting traded again.
Right. He's not. Yeah, and remind me where he came from the first time, because
the Kings. Yeah, he was in Sacramento.
Okay, and so if we want to talk about how good he's playing now, it's easy to forget he played for the Kings, right? Because the Kings weren't who they were with him. They're better now that they don't have him. He's better now that he doesn't play for the Kings. And so let's not ignore SGA was a Clipper before he was in, OKC. But SGA wasn't who he was. Shy Gil Alexander. Now he like, oh, that's that boy. Now that's that boy.
Hey,
Am I right?
When he was
Am
a
I
Clipper,
right?
you did not know how to pronounce that last name. You
Exactly.
like,
am I right? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. Let's call him SGA.
Hey, matter of fact, here we go. Let's go ahead and just get this piece of. We're just gonna stick this on your jersey so that just write your number. We'll call you by your number because we don't know how to say your name,
But
right?
now we know his name, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You better put some respect
that dog.
on it
You know
now.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
that's real.
when we talk about all these young players, none of these guys are pawns on the chessboard. The only pawn on the chessboard that we've elevated so far, in my true opinion, is that boy from Miami. And so for that reason, he can't be in my top 10. For that reason, he struggles to get in my top 15 because I don't care how fat Zion gets. Zion ain't going nowhere.
He almost did get traded this summer, though.
Man, they're not. Listen, they will tell you whatever they want you to believe, Alex, but there's not enough assets that a team is willing to take for Zion in a trade right now. Nobody's willing to do that with the NBA being as wide open as it is. If there were some clear-cut favorites for this championship this year, I could see. But let's talk about it. Denver doesn't even look like the same Denver from last year. They're winning games, but Jokic
that's
looks
just because Jokic is just great. I mean, they don't look as
Jokic
deep
looked
as
like
they did last year.
Yeah, Jokic looks like he took his foot off the gas a bit. He's now middling out at like 22-9-9. His last couple of games, and I know because I've been putting my money on him and he's been letting me down, he ain't really been putting the ball in the basket the way I want him to. Murray hasn't really been giving me what Murray gave me in the postseason last year, you know? So with the NBA being as wide open as it is, with the Clippers not knowing what they're doing, with the Lakers not knowing what they're doing, I'm not trading Zion. Now, if it was 2-3 teams that I'm like, oh, they gonna win, oh yeah, let's move on. But I'm not doing that.
You bring up a valid point, bro. And Alex, I want to ask you a comparison between these two young guys, and I'm gonna let you get the last words, and then we'll get the words of wisdom. But Henry, you bring up a valid point, bro, because from the 1 seed to the honestly, the 7 seed are only separated by 4 games in the West. So if you get Zion on a diet, a month, 2 months of locked in the gym and cardio, and BI and him stay healthy, and you got CJ and all those C's, they could easily push for a top 4 seed in the West. You never know.
Get his thick ass a fat burner, you might be on to something.
You just said at least 6 ifs, though, bro.
Bro, okay, that's 6. That's a lot of ifs, but you can say them same ifs about anybody in the East. Them 6 ifs is the same. You using the same ifs, right? Because what you said is weight, health, and durability. Them ifs matter across the league. That's exactly what you said. That is true. Look at how quickly Indiana went from like, whoa, it happened that fast when Halliburton got hurt. Like, like that quick. You know what I'm saying? The game of basketball is so much more fluid than football is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more depth. There are only 13 guys on that roster, 15 guys.
And Alex, like I said, I just want to ask you comparison between these 2 young guys. Then I'll let you get the final words for the NBA talk, man. Franz Wagner, Tyler Hero. What are your thoughts about that comparison?
Oh man, see, you're definitely gonna have to bump Tyler Hero down. There's no disrespect, but Franz Wagner is 6 inches taller than that man. There's no disrespect. That man
does the same stuff he does at 6'8", 6'9", 6'10",
and looking above everybody. So no disrespect to you, Tyler, but and that's another thing. Like Tyler's not in my top 5. He's an honorable mention, but then I could put Franz Wagner in there. I could put Ben Carroll in there. I could put I could put a lot of players in there. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I wanted to say Jalen Suggs.
Nah. He's definitely better than Jalen Suggs. Suggs is a good role player.
He's a good role player. You gotta give him
some respect.
I think Suggs is good.
He could be
good in his role. He's good in his role.
Yeah,
he's good in his role.
Hey, look, we're gonna see what that boy RJ do in the 6 too. Shout out to him. He been hooping since he been to the Raptors. But
Hey, no, real quick, and I'm gonna give it back because I talked a lot during the NBA section. They probably like this football guy act like he know what he talking about, right?
hey, nah,
It's all good.
But Alex brought up the Thunders. Mind you, I'm an OKC Thunder guy, so I'm a fan. So when you shouting out my boys, I was appreciative. But man, while you were bringing them up, I literally sat here and typed in the Toronto Raptors roster. I don't know if folks know how good this Raptors roster really is. Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Grady Dick.
They just got Emmanuel Quickly, but that young core,
Dennis Stroller,
Gary Trent,
Pascal Siakam.
They're about to trade
roster, bro. That roster,
I think they're gonna move him too.
If they move him, right? If they move him, they are going to move him and bring in some good compensation for it. But if they don't, I would honestly keep that roster together, bro. I would honestly keep that roster together because if I'm not mistaken, RJ just snapped the other night, didn't he?
Yeah,
37 the other night, bro.
RJ
against the Warriors, against the quality team.
Snapped his wrist the other night. He snapped his wrist the other night. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
Look, I called it when the trade happened. I know this man, OG Anunoby's been hooping since he's been with the Knicks, but low-key, I think in the long term, the Knicks got fleeced.
Yeah, they definitely did. They gave up 30 points guaranteed penciled in from 2 players. And OG Anunoby is not a 30-point per game guy. And he was the marquee of the trade. They traded another guy, Malachi Flynn. He won't touch the court a lot.
Yeah.
He'll be there for moral support and hand claps.
Bro, that boy went 62.5% from the 3-pointer.
And that was not his game in New York. That was not him at all. So,
but you can argue he has more space now.
Yeah, true. You don't got to deal with Julius Randle and Mitch.
His
Rob,
32 shots a game. But y'all got to remember, they sent that boy RJ back home
to the crib.
They sent him to the crib. Darius, bro.
That's like, bro. Essentially, New York is close. I guess you can say close to Canada, but that's essentially like going from if we went from California back to Charlotte to hoop. That's essentially you coming home, man, and seeing your family, your mom making your home cooked meals, being at the game. That's how it matters to people,
bro. The closest he ever can. Listen, and so this is how you should have known he was gonna ball. RJ Barrett, looking at his stats right now, outside of the 37 he dropped against Golden State the other night, he scored his highest of the season was 27 points. Guess against what team? Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Toronto. And he was at Toronto.
That makes sense. He wanted to get there. He said, please, y'all gonna trade me home, please.
He wanted that.